Welcome to Nagesh Karisgi Orchid School. Myself Snehal Mane, teaching you science for grade 6. In the previous class we have completed our 4 lessons. Now in this class we are going to start 5th lesson, that is separation of substances. As you all know that in our surrounding there are many kinds of substances. So we need to separate those substances for our use. So in this chapter we are going to see in detail about what are the processes involved in separation of different substances. So let us start the lesson. Separation of substances. In this chapter we are going to study about the mixtures, need for separation of mixtures, separation of solids from solid, separation of solids from liquid, solutions, and we are going to summarize all that we have studied. We can say that almost all the substances which occur in nature are in the form of mixtures, and pure substances are rarely found. As I just said you that whatever substances which are found in nature, those are in the form of mixtures. Those are in the form of mixtures. Mixtures are nothing but a quantity which has more different amount of substances. From those we have to take the useful substance and use it. Okay, so all the things, all the substances are formed in the kind of mixtures. We need to separate it, and the substances which are pure, which are found in nature, are very rare. There are many instances when we notice a substance being separated from a mixture of materials. When there is a mixture of materials, we separate the different substance for our use. So there are many different kinds of such instances where we notice it. As we can see, the tea leaves are separated from the liquid with a strainer while preparing tea. So we separate the mixture here. While straining the tea leaves get separated in the strainer. In the same way, grain is separated from stalks while harvesting. Yes, this is the stalk, and this grain is separated from the stalk while harvesting. So these are the different instances that we find where the different substances are separated. In the same way, perhaps you might have eaten salted dalia or poha. If you found that it had chilies in it, yes, you find that it had chilies. So when you find there are chilies in it, what do people do? You just remove out the chilies. You have carefully taken them out before eating. Why do you do it so? Because you don't like. So this is a kind of separation. This is a kind of separation. In the same way, suppose you are given a basket containing mangoes and apples and ask them to separate. Can you separate it? Yes, it's easy to separate a basket of mangoes and apples. So these are two different substances which are mixed together. We are just separating it out. In the same way, butter is taken out by churning milk or curd. So there are many instances in this way that we find in our nature and we do to separate the substances. Okay. Now we are going to see about mixtures. Before this, we'll see a video.
A mixture is made up of 2 or more substances which are mixed but not chemically united. Different substances that constitute a mixture are called constituents or components of a mixture. Fruit salad is a mixture of different fruits. You can pick the fruit of your choice very easily from the fruit salad. But what if you are asked to separate grains from the chaff? In order to separate grains from the chaff, we have to use a different technique. We need to separate the mixture into its constituents in order to remove undesirable substances and obtain useful constituents. Let us discuss the various techniques used to separate mixtures of solids one by one. See what is.
Now, as we know that the different kinds of things are found in nature. Those may be in the kind of solid, those may be liquid or gaseous. So these all solid, liquid and gaseous may be mixed together. All these are called as mixtures. So we need to separate them. There are few methods. First method is separation of solid from other solid. Separation of solid from other solid. And in the same way we have separation of liquid to solid, solid to liquid. In this way we have different methods. So we are going to see one by one in detail. Before this, let us know that what are these mixtures and why we need to separate them. Why we need to separate them. Okay, so mixtures. We need to separate the mixtures because to remove undesirable substances, need for separation of mixtures. So as we know, the mixtures are found in nature, those need to be separated. So the main things why the separation of mixtures is done is to remove the undesirable substances, to remove the undesirable substances, to take out impurities. Whatever impurities present in the mixture are removed out and it can be used, and to obtain useful components. And after removing the impurities, after removing the undesirable substances or unwanted substances from the mixture, a pure substance is formed and that can be used. And when we get the pure substance, it is a useful component. It is a useful component. So the mixtures are cleaned for removing unwanted or harmful components and obtaining desired useful components in pure form. For obtaining desired useful components in pure form. Let us see here. To remove undesirable substances. Now, what is undesirable substances? Example, small stone pieces and unwanted seed grains are removed from the rice or dal before cooking. Yes? When your mother cooks food, what do you observe? Before cooking it in pressure cooker, mother takes the rice in a plate and she observes that if there is any unwanted seed or unwanted stone pieces, yes, then she pick up it and just throw it away. In the same way she does it for dal. Yes or no? Okay, so this is the method where we remove the unwanted seed, grains or stone pieces from the rice or from the dal before cooking, so that it would not be harmful for our body. So this is the method where we use to remove the undesirable substances. Undesirable substances. The second one, the need to separate the mixture. The second one is to remove impurities. Now what are impurities? For example, distilled water needed for medicines is obtained by removing impurities from water. Okay, distilled water needed for medicines is obtained by removing impurities from water. Students, you know that whenever we need to drink water, if there is a tap in our home, do we use that tap directly for drinking the water? Just we on the tap, we take a glass of water in a glass and just drink it? No, we don't do it. Why do we don't do in such a way? Because the water contains impurities, maybe harmful substances present in it. Yes, so it is not the pure water. So if we drink that impure water, our body may feel illness. So will remove impurities either the water is boiled or and then it is easy to drink. Yes, in the same way, removing impurities from water, whether it is used for drinking or maybe used for needed for different medicines, practices and all, so we need to remove impurities from the water. It may be from a solid substance or a liquid substance. The water which is found or we get in the nature contains a lot of impurities. So for removing impurities, there are a lot of different things that we can do, and then the impurities are removed, so we can consume the water or the product. Now the third one is to obtain useful components. For proper use, various components are separated from mixture, like petrol, diesel, kerosene separated from petroleum. As we know, this is a crude oil that we get. So this petroleum consists of different things like diesel, kerosene. So when petroleum is extracted, we separate the diesel and kerosene from it, so that we can use it for, that we can take the proper use of it. Yes, so for example, kerosene, diesel is used for the engines to run, and the kerosene which we use for the gas stoves. Yes, so these are the different things. To get the proper use of the component, the separation of substances is done. So we have seen that separation of substances is the basic need. It is needed because to remove unwanted or harmful components and obtaining desired useful components in pure form, so we can use it properly. Next, separation of components of mixture. Substances to be separated may be solids, liquids or gases. As we have just seen, the substances which are formed or which we get in the nature are called mixtures. Those mixtures may be of solids, liquids and gases. They may have particles of different size. Particles of different size. One may be the big one and one may be the small one. One may be the solid, one may be the liquid. So there are different sizes of particles, and the mixtures may be of solids, liquids and gases. Mixtures can be separated by simple methods. Mixtures can be separated by simple methods based on difference in properties of constituents. Okay, so there are some properties each constituent has. Solid has different properties, liquid has different properties and gases has different properties. So based on these properties, mixtures can be separated by very simple methods. Based on the things, the mixtures can be separated. Now we are going to see separation of solid from solid. Two solid materials can be separated by different various ways, different various methods. So let us see it. Methods of separation of solid from solid are hand picking, sieving, winnowing, threshing and magnetic separation. Okay, so these are few methods where we use to separate the substances. Okay, so the methods are hand picking, sieving, winnowing, threshing and magnetic separation. So now we are going to see one by one in detail. Look at this mixture. What can you see here? Yes, these are tablets which are of different colors, right? Black, red, pink, green, white. Yeah, so these are tablets. After looking at this mixture, you can easily know that this is a mixture, right? It is a combination of many different substances, but all the substances in these are in the form of solid, right? So can you separate this mixture? Yes, it's very easy. When we remove the different color substances, we get the different substances, right? So these are the mixtures which are in the form of solid. It can be separated by the method called, which method, can you tell me? Yes, it's hand picking. It's hand picking. Simply we use our hand to pick out the different color tablets and put it in a different bowls, right? So this is the method called hand picking. In the same way, the other method we can see here. So pieces of stones and husk present in rice separated by hand. When you take a rice in, so there are different methods. The first method where we remove the pieces of stones and husk is hand picking. So there are stones and husk which are present in the rice. So simply it can be removed by using our hand. That is nothing but called as hand picking. Hand picking used for separating solid mixtures. Simplest method used for separating unwanted substances from useful ones. So it is the very simplest method which doesn't need any cost, and it can be used for separating unwanted substances from useful ones. So we know that rice is a useful one and we find some stones in it. So removing stones by the method called hand picking, and the stones are nothing but unwanted substances. So we remove that, and that method is called as hand picking. Certain impurities like particles of sand and soil do not get removed from the grain by thrashing and winnowing. Okay, so there are different methods like thrashing and winnowing before we hand pick it. So when the rice crops are grown in the farm, that is removed with the grains are removed with the help of thrashing and winnowing. When they do the thrashing and winnowing, there are few such impurity that does not get removed by these processes. So in such cases hand picking is practiced. Generally, this method is used by housewives to remove the undesirable components from food grains. Hand picking is also practiced by fruit growers. Okay, it means when a fruit is grown on a plant, so what we do, we just pick the fruit and collect it. So hand picking is also practiced by the fruit growers. Fruits from plants are plucked and are graded as large and small, or ripe or unripe. So in the same way, so hand picking, it is a method where we use our hand to pick the things. So we can see that when the fruits are plucked, fruits are of different kinds, like some fruits are ripe, some fruits are unripe. Fruits may be small in size, big in size. Yes, so for example, if we take a mango, the mango may be sometimes green and sometimes small, big. So when we pick the fruits, the mangoes, so what we observe there, we observe that we collect in a large amount, and these fruits are separated according to ripen, unripe, small size, big size. Yes. So this is again the example, and then the fruits that are separated in the different kinds are sent forwarded for the sale, forwarded into the method of hand picking. Now let us see a video regarding hand picking. Let us see the video of hand picking.
Look at this mixture. Can you separate the constituents of this mixture by hand? Yes, we can. The constituents of the mixture of solids are clearly distinguished due to differences in their shapes, sizes or color. They can be easily picked and separated. Hand picking is the simplest method used for separating constituents of mixtures of solids. Have you noticed that at home, stones and other undesirable substances are separated from food grains and pulses by hand picking? When can we use hand picking as a separation technique? Hand picking is used when unwanted material is present in a small quantity. It can be used to separate unwanted substances from useful ones. It is used when size, shape or color of unwanted substances is different from useful ones. It is used when food grains like wheat, rice, pulses, etc. contain small stones and insects.
So this was the video about the hand picking. So let us see our PPT. Hand picking is used when unwanted material is present in small quantity. The size, shape or color of unwanted substance is different from useful ones. Food grains like wheat, rice, pulses, etc. contain small stones and insects. Now the next method is sieving. It is used for separating solid components of mixtures varying in sizes. It is used for separating solid components of mixtures varying in size. Okay, for example, mother uses this sieving technique at home. Yes, when we want the different kinds of the large mixtures to be get separated, sieve with holes of proper size is used. Small particles can pass through sieve while the bigger one remain in the sieve. The bigger one remains in the sieve and the small gets separated. So this is the another method where we use to separate the substances. Separation of chaff from a wheat flour. So this is the example, separation of chaff from the wheat flour. Can you name the process shown in the picture? Can anyone of you tell? It's winnowing. Okay, so before that we will see a video of sieving.
Have you noticed that undesirable materials are separated from useful ones by using sieve? Can we name the process shown here? Yes, it is sieving. Sieving is used to separate the components of a mixture which are of different sizes. When the mixture is shaken on a sieve, it allows the particles smaller than its pores to pass through it, whereas the bigger particles are left behind. Sieves of different pore size are available. The size of pores in the sieve used depends on the size of the component to be separated. For example, at a construction site, sand is separated from stones with the help of sieve with big pores. But a sieve with fine pores is used to separate gram from flour.
So this was the sieving. So different types of sieving material are available of different pores. Sieving is a method used when the components of mixtures are of different size. Sieving removes unwanted seeds and soil particles from grains. In our homes, flour is sieved to separate bran. Generally, we do not sieve the flour and consume bran with the flour. Bran is rich in nutrients and provides roughage, which is a useful part of our food. The process of sieving is also used to separate fine sand from coarse. Is used to separate fine sand from coarse sand, and pebbles at construction sites. So this was about the sieving. So let us move towards the next method, that is winnowing. Based on the differences in weights of components, farmers use this method to separate grains from husk. This is called as winnowing. On threshing the crop plants, farmer gets a mixture of straw, husk and the grain. Straw and husk are collectively called chaff. Chaff is separated from the grain by the method of winnowing. This method is used when one of the components is heavier than the other. It is a simple method. Farmer stands on a high platform and release the mixture of chaff and the grain from a winnow, that is charge, keeping the winnow at the level of his head. The grain being heavier fall under the winnow and chaff being the lighter is blown a little away by wind. The separated chaff is used as fodder for the cattle. Blowing wind plays an important role in the process of separation of grain. From husk by winnowing. So this is the method called winnowing. Mixture of grains and husk. Mixture dropped from height in presence of wind or fan. Grains are heavier components, fall almost vertically from a heap, and while lighter components, that is husk, are carried away by wind and form separate heap. So this is the method called winnowing.
Winnowing of wheat. Winnowing is used to separate the heavier and the lighter components of a mixture by wind or by blowing the air. Today, in the industrial world, it is done mechanically. This method is commonly used to separate the lighter husk particles from the heavier grains. The husk particles are carried away by the wind. This process can also be carried out manually by using the winnowing fan or basket. The winnowing basket is used to separate the wheat grains from the outer husk and chaff. Winnowing can also be described as the natural removal of the fine materials from coarse and getting husk-free wheat grains.
So in this lesson till now we have seen about what are the mixtures, what is the need for separation of mixtures, and then we have seen the different methods to separate solids from solids. We have seen the methods like sieving, hand picking and winnowing. In the next class we will see more different methods about this. Thank you students.